Greetings and welcome once again. This is Emunah Y'srael, Soulonomics 101, the place where we speak about real problems and real solutions. You know, I just heard some wow stuff. And, it bothered me so till I wanted to speak a little bit about it. So, pictures are worth 1,000 words, they say, right? So, I'm going to show you some pictures now because we seem to have a misunderstanding that knowledge equals understanding equals wisdom. Now, tell me what you see. Okay, what are you seeing right now before you? You may see a house. It looks like it used to be blue. It looks like the windows are boarded up on the first floor. From what I could see, there possibly was a flyer. And basically, it's not habitable. Somebody condemned it. They looked at it and said, this house is not suitable for living. Now, this analogy that I'm going to use with houses and people and our people as a nation and a community of people. So keep that in mind. We're going to go between the people, our people, and the state and condition, the trauma. This house was traumatized. Before it used to be in its glory. You can tell somebody put time, effort, and energy into design and everything. But right now, one has to be honest about not only this house, but our people, that something is wrong. And that is a good place to start. Now, just say, for instance, I have some other pictures that's going to come up. I think this is the confusion that's going on, that we see what used to be and try to get there. Here goes another condemned structure. Okay, but we had something that come up, and it's called Flip That House. And it's where people buy these houses, and then they assess the damage. And I would admit to us today, or submit to us today, we have to assess the damage. You cannot try to go into this structure that you see on your screen and just put some paint on it and it be all good. Structurally, it is not sound. So it is with our people. Structurally, because of the damage that we have undergone for 400 years, you can see the stress on the foundation of this house. You can see the roof collapsing on this house. You can see that professionals will have to go in, contractors, and see how far down to the core does this house have to come for it to be salvageable. Some things are not salvageable, some things are. But if we're not willing to take a look at ourselves and truly admit, like this dilapidated house, that structurally we have undergone traumatic situations in the past that causes us to think strangely, act strangely, and do things that normal people wouldn't do to ourselves and one another. It's easier to see, put the parallels, because I always like to say broken bricks, which we see before us, don't build strong houses. And it's not to say this two-story house never used to be in its glory. I'm quite sure at one point it was. But nostalgia is not going to bring it back. What's going to bring it back is people or whoever's going to now go into this structure to say, you know what, how are we going to build this thing back up? But you have to be willing to take down the parts that are not working. So let me go to the people as we're looking at this house. Everybody like, what's wrong with our people? Well, we can't get along. And we're trying to just, do a few minor touches and fly the gate and be like, yeah, it's livable. And next thing you know, the walls come crumbling down on you because the structure is unsound. The people are not healed. And then we're saying, quote unquote, black people, we can't get along. See, we're not even approaching the situation with hakma or wisdom. We may have some knowledge, but we're lacking wisdom. Now, take a look at this. This is Flip This House, right? This is something, the house used to be condemned. But then they had contractors. They had workmen that went in there and fixed the houses. And it was a process. Yeah, it was a process. Healing is a process. Fixing a home up is a process. They didn't build a house from scratch. Just like we're not building a people from scratch. We already exist. So when this house was originally built, it would have been in its glory. It would have been at a status where it was habitable. So it is the people. But like I said, we have to be realistic about this approach. No one in their right mind will be like, yeah, unless you're really desperate, and some homeless person tries to stow away in the house because something is better than nothing. We have to move from desperation to begin to use and process some understanding that we need healing, we need repair, we need rehabilitation. And if we're not ready to go in and assess the damages, look at this, the same thing. Someone had to go in and assess the damages? Is it the beams that have to come out? Is it the whole wall that has to come out? Is it the whole roof that needs to be repaired? Is it our personalities, or is it the maladaptive ways that we have learned through this suppressive system or oppressive system, both suppressive and oppressive, that we have lived in for over 400 years? It is so much of a combination of things to think that in one breath we're going to voila appear. That's some magic stuff. That's some fairyland stuff, some pixie dust stuff. So let's get it together. Let's be willing to put in the work. Put in the work, and the work starts with you. You embody your own home, your house, your soul lives in your body, your mind. You have control over that. So until next time, my name is Emunah Y'srael. I had to get that one out. So, one.